Okay, I've got a player that I've never faced before, SpaceX Cowboy. This hand is solid. Gonna want a discard outlet, but keepable. Either a discard outlet or a very slow game where I can just build up enough lands, hopefully not taking too much pain from the cities along the way, to eventually cast War of the Worms, which will be one cheaper off the wall. But definitely a little risky. Probably want a discard outlet for both of these. I see Windswept Heath into a forest. I'm thinking could be some sort of Terravor or Threshgeddon type of deck, which often plays Rishadan Ports and Wastelands. So I'm not using my first turn mana at all, so let's just keep it as a fetch land to play around the potential Rishadan Port in our next upkeep. Okay, we got Enchantress. Bite Spec is great because we can go get Volcanic Spray, and Parallax Tide is honestly great as well. So we definitely have a solid game plan. Sunscat familiar into Parallax Tide, hopefully Quiet Spec, also grabbing, in addition to Volcanic Spray, Ray of Revelation, which is an enabler for Tide. Island off the top is solid. Waiting for this fetch to resolve. They're tapped out, so I know they're not going to bind me. My old version of this deck was a tireless drive deck, and it went pretty far in the Spring Fling, top 8, and had some other good results here and there as well. But I've grown to feel like the tireless tribe combo itself was the weakest part of the deck, and the Sunscape Familiar, Mox Diamond, Quiet Spec, Roar of the Worm part of the shell was actually the strongest part of the deck. That core. And so I've taken out the tireless tribe combo, and instead I'm building in this Parallax Tide combo. So the deck is still solid against fair decks, and with Parallax Tides and Stifles, it's now becoming a stronger deck against various combo decks or Argothian Enchantress type decks or Black-White Control decks that just decks that are just more powerful and more sort of unfair. So I could Quiet Spec, get Ray, Spray, and a Deep Analysis. When I fetched for the planes, I was kind of regretting it, thinking I should have just leaned on the pain lands because I'm not going to be able to use this turn if I do Quiet Spec into Ray of Revelation and Spray and Deep Analysis. We're not in a crazy rush. I don't go. I mean, they could make a lot of mana next turn if they have the Sarah Sanctum. I kind of want to go slow. Maybe I'm just too hyper focused on using all my mana, but this could also find us a Stifle, which is pretty nice with Parallax Tide. Okay, did find us a Stifle. That allows us to not rely on Ray of Revelation as the enabler for Parallax Tide, and instead I can just cast out a Parallax Tide, exile the lands they have, and let it sit. So if they play another land, I can exile it and then just stifle it when it wants to die. This matchup used to feel horrible when I was on Tireless Tribe combo because they get out Elephant Grass or Solitary Confinement. Is that what it's called? And they just don't take damage. I can't hit them. And then they build up their synergies, Opalescence, Parallax Wave, and I'm dead. But now I can attack them at a different angle that's really hard for Enchantress to handle, as well as a bunch of other decks. So they put Exploration on top. So if I can get all 5 lands, if they play 2 lands next turn and I hit 5 of them, that's nice. And this game is going to go slow, so I do believe we will be casting Roar of the Worms at some point. The nice thing about Parallax Tide against Enchantress is it also kills those wild growths. They just die. Okay, they did not make a land drop. Not even one. Despite casting Exploration. Okay, Ray of Revelation in hand is nice. Priority right now is Parallax Tiding them, and the question is, do I hold up Stifle? I think I do. No, I don't. I don't. What am I worried about? Abolish? No one plays that in main deck. Because they're tapped out, so they can't kill my Parallax Tide when I don't have Stifle up. Always yield to the City of Brass triggers. I have a bunch. I'll be having a bunch this game. So I will take out their lands. And the plan is to just stifle when Parallax Tide dies, whether it's sooner or later. I want to stifle the ability that returns all the lands. In the meantime, I don't mind just drawing and paying a lot of life. Praying I don't get somehow abolished or somehow free destroy effect on the Parallax Tide while I'm tapped out and can't stifle the Leaves Plague trigger. Let's pass from there. Okay, well, yeah, I don't. Let's just do a roar. No land drops again? Great. Okay, quiet spec. Let's go get a spray. Get rid of this Enchantress. Won't be able to cast a 6/6 yet. I just don't want them to dig out. I don't see any point in killing Sterling Grove, like with Ray of Revelation at the moment, because even though I'm not going to play finishing the clock on Sterling Grove, I don't see a point in killing it, because if they were to ever activate it, like it cuts them off of a land drop, because it puts some enchantment on top of their library. Right now, they don't need enchantments, they need land. Moving on to the Prismatic Strands, Deep Analysis. These are all things I don't want to draw. Prismatic Spray would be nice to draw. But the other two I don't want to draw right now. I have enough going on with my mana for Deep Analysis. And Prismatic Strands, we're not going to be dealing with damage related stuff here from out of Enchantress anytime soon. So I just want to start hurting them. Cut them off of the Enchantress thing. Hey, this is a dead card. There's no more things with flashback. These are my only plays, and they're not great right now. So I will pass. It's possible that they're refraining from playing lands. It's actually definitely a consideration because they want this thing to die. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to be able to take that too. I think they played it out because they were going to go to discard, so. Ooh, good thing I hold up Stifle. Let's see how this plays out. Yep, targeting that. So in response, I'm going to hit Sarah's Sanctum. And their seal will resolve. But then, actually, let's fetch. This is a damage we likely had to take anyway, so let's do it now. Not tap City of Brass and then have to fetch later anyway. The only reason I might hold up... how does that go? There we go. Wasn't clicking on the stifle. The only reason I might hold up a fetch longer is if I wanted to have Sylvan Library, but I only have one Sylvan Library in the deck. Okay, finally we can start coming in for some damage. I imagine they play swords. Not main. Maybe it's like Elephant Grass is their main deck card. I mostly have that covered. I definitely, yes, I play 4 swords, but I'm not going to be casting them this game. Definitely will have to watch out for Sanctum into Seal. When they seemingly wouldn't have the ability to hit Parallax Tide, they definitely can just go from 0 to 2 mana. Nice to see another land. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna hard cast a worm from hand. Only cost 6 because of the wall. Flashback only cost 3. Okay, time to sideboard. When you're at no lands, 14 power is definitely imposing. Okay, naturalize. Engineered Plague on Druid. I think that's what the Argothian Enchantress is. I don't want to name human because I'm playing Meddling Mage, unless I set him out. What would I bring in the Meddling Mages for? Parallax Wave? That's maybes. Strength of Lunacy is kind of fun. I just put it in here. We'll see how it goes. Sorceries that I have to watch out for. I think they play like 1 or 2 Replenishes. Not too worried about that. Ray of Revelation is definitely. So I'll put the Meddling Mages over here. I need to make room for 4. Really not in a rush, so I could be taking out Mox Diamonds. Prismatic Strands, very unnecessary. Everything else is solid. Don't need all these swords. To be honest, I could take out all four. I think that's the move. Because if they do Opalescence, they probably have Parallax Wave out, in which case I can't even hit any of their things anyway. So I'm going to bring in the mages. And I'll leave 2 diamonds. 6 for 6. I take out Mox Diamonds here because my mana is usually good enough to cover whatever little black or red splashes I need to. And Mox Diamonds are for speedier matchups. Enchantress doesn't come at me too fast. And yeah, Argothian Enchantress is a human druid. Yeah, you can deal with Enchantresses for days, and then draw cards. Hopefully they're not on Enchantress's presence. Then I will need to get either one of my 2 Ray Revelations or the Naturalize. In this matchup, I'm going to be prioritizing having City of Brass in play because they're not dealing me damage and the games go long, and I might want more than 3 taps out of it, so I'm probably going to discard the Gemstone Mine and keep the City of Brass. Okay, I can hold up a Mana Leak. I like that. There's also an argument for just discarding Flooded Strand, but who knows? I might find a Silver Library. I might want a basic island. So I don't know what I mean. Turn 2, like it's Sterling Grove. I will let an Enchantress resolve, of course. Seal of Cleansing. It is annoying enough. This is a weak use of Mana Leak, but let's get that out of here because I don't want them to 2-for-1 me by just shooting my Mox Diamond right there. I like the wall, definitely. Allows us to draw 4 next turn. Deep Analysis for 3, and then Flashback Deep Analysis for 1. Pretty insane. It's like a fact or fiction where you get a pile of 4. And it might include the best one. Okay, Aura of Silence is a bummer. It will, even if I Ray of Revelation it will take out the Mox Diamond. I'm just gonna get another island. I rarely need planes. I even sided out all my swords. Ray of Revelation is an argument to go get an island right there, but all good. I sometimes play out my lands too soon. I should wait to see what I draw off the Deep Analysis. Okay, so next turn I actually will be able to play Parallax Tide. I want to find an enabler, though. As long as he doesn't shoot my Mox Diamond. Actually, if he does, then I can still play out Parallax Tide because then the tax won't be there. But next turn, the Parallax Tide, all things staying equal, will be 5 mana to cast. 2 tax and 1 discount. Subsidy. I'll be able to hit this Wild Growth, which is nice. Interesting. Okay, got the Stifle. I need to hold up 5 mana for this play, though. Did I just skip through my turn? I did. That's weird. Bummer. Maybe I hit 2 in the upkeep somehow? Alright, looks like they're passing back? Okay, weird. We both just skipped turns. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't gonna play Parallax Tide anyway. Let's just keep going. So yeah, this would cost 5, and then I would target his lands and he'd blow it up. No benefit. So I need to be holding up basic island Stifle. Yeah, let's just pass. Wonder what they've got over there. Okay, I love the Ray of Revelation. Priority is definitely dealing with their lands. Let's hold up Ray of Revelation too. So I'm gonna do it island, blue, colorless. 2 more, that's right. Cycle. Okay, they are hitting Tide. So this is my chance to just get all of their things. I don't need to hit that one again. Yep, it will be anyways. Okay, they gotta land right away. An army of 2/2 bears could be an issue, so I'm gonna shoot that. Even though I have Engineer Plague and Volcanic Spray, it's just, I just need to get rid of that. They could build up. I mean, I'm not digging out of this very well, so they totally could. I mean, I'm not building on my advantage. They could dig out of their hole. Hopefully they miss some land drops. Okay, we can deal with that. Love that. This deck just hits Enchantress in all the right ways nowadays. It's a lot of decks in all the right ways. Lands. I wish I had a creature. This deck is a little light on threats. It's definitely a reasonable criticism. Quiet Spec goes and gets them, so Quiet Spec basically counts as a threat. But if they have another Enchantress in hand and they're like, why play into this onboard Volcanic Spray? Elfin Grass doesn't bother me. I don't know why they played that. It's gonna die soon. Maybe they have a Serra Sanctum? I don't know. We are flooding. Flooding. But I'm gonna play towards Quiet Spec into Double Ray or even Deep Analysis. We have 9 mana sources. Would have been 10. I have not missed a land drop, and I have 2 lands in hand. Other than that one turn that I accidentally slid through the whole turn. But even if I had made that land drop, I would still have surplus lands. Serra Sanctum. Sterling Grove. I wonder what they would want. I have Ray of Revelation. I could just shoot that right now. But I don't. I'm gonna wait to shoot that in case they were to cast another Sterling Grove. Hoping for a non-land. Okay, I mean, solid. Do I care about shooting that? I just want to shoot whatever they grab off it. They're probably feeling unlucky that I found answers for everything, but I'm feeling unlucky because I'm flooding like crazy. Another potential benefit to have shot Sterling Grove there was not letting them have more mana off Serra Sanctum. They didn't use it to keep alive the Elephant Grass anyway, but no. Okay. It's insane. Crazy. Even if I don't draw a land next turn, Dromar's Cavern is going to pick up a land. And they have completely got their mana back under them. They don't have a draw effect in sight for days. I'll be able to kill, just even out of the cards that are on board or in my graveyard, I'll be able to kill a lot of things. Parallax Wave doesn't bother me. I just have to worry about Opalescence coming down. I care about that? No, I have so much mana. Not much I would have been able to do anyway. Crazy. Crazy. I need 14 out of my 24 lands in the top 24 cards. Seen 24 cards, 14 of them lands. What are they gonna grab? Enchantress's Presence, maybe? Opalescence? Opalescence is insane. Enchantress's Presence. Okay. I am ready to kill it. As soon as I get priority here. Another Parallax Tide would be nice. Honestly, just draw stuff. Quiet Spec. Sylvan Library. Not amazing. Do this, and I'm gonna pull back a Plains and just hang on to it as a discard outlet. Land drop this entire game, turn 13. Except for that one turn. But still. Except for that one turn that I skipped through. But still, I wouldn't have. I would have just played a Plains here. Okay, this is... I think they were trying to bait out that previous Ray of Revelation because they wanted to cast this. Opalescence and Parallax Tide is an infinite, infinite one-sided Wrath of God. Despite flooding, I'm finding all my answers, so yeah. Okay, we found a threat. First one of the game? Crazy. Parallax Wave really is the thing that scares me. Swords a bit too. Maybe Swords even more. Nah, Parallax Wave is annoying. I'm gonna say Swords though, because I have the ability to shoot Opalescence if the Parallax Wave comes out. Yeah, we've got 4 mages, 4 discard creatures between Wild Mongrel and Fantatog, 2 worms, and 3 quiet specs. 13 threats. Just found my first one. Yeah. Buys them more time. And it's a 1/1. Kind of funny. Oh, actually, it doesn't buy that time. I can just pay for it. No problem. Do I care if they block? I don't think so. I don't have any more fetchables, so these are just going to be discard fodder. Yeah, I'm just going to pay the, what is it, 2? Yeah, for non-black creatures. I'm surprised they didn't block. I guess they wanted to keep it to pump up Sarah's Sanctum. Seal cleansing, not a huge concern right now, except that it is a 2/2. A little bit of a bummer. So maybe it's time to shoot Opalescence. It might be. Yeah. Now my only defense against shenanigans is Naturalize, left in the deck. Mono definitely would like another Parallax. Crazy, crazy, crazy number of lands. I'm not playing them anymore because I just need... They can be discard outlets at this point. I could quiet spec into double roar at this point, and deep analysis, and have mana up. They just haven't seen many cards, and they've had a lot of card disadvantage plays, like Elephant Grass just dying, Parallax Wave just dying. Yeah, Argothian Enchantress died to something that I can still recast. Activating Sterling Grove. So I'm way up on cards despite not hitting any of my card advantage cards. Oh wait, I mean like my flashback enchantment removal, that counts as card advantage. Not really gonna use a stifle on anything unless it's insanely good or my own Parallax Tide at this point. Humility. I'm still swinging for 2 next turn. They do have the ability to cast swords now, but I am swinging for 2. I don't mind. Monolith? Wouldn't be so bad. Wild Mongrel. Cast it as another just plain old 1/1. Oh yeah, I have to pay 2, because Sunscape Familiar's discount effect is turned off. Definitely don't want to play Volcanic Spray right now. Not until I've naturalized Humility. But they are on a 2-turn clock. Volcanic Spray is 1 damage as well. I'm only going to naturalize or stifle the things that stop this attack right now. Oof, that is good. That is very good. So yeah, I was talking about those envelops. I don't have anything here. Yikes. I can hit Opalescence. Oh yeah, Humility is turning off their Parallax Wave. As soon as I hit Opalescence, all of their things are no longer creatures, so their abilities get turned back on. Interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anything I want to do here. They are going to be swinging for a lot. Maybe I go to attacks. Maybe that's the plan, is I go in my attack. I swing in without having to tap mana for Elephant Grass. And then I hit their Opalescence. Then they're just going to Parallax Wave all my creatures. How good is that? Turns out my flooding really did cost me. I don't know if there's a way out of this. I hit their Opalescence. My creatures are still 1/1s. They won't have any creatures. They're going to start making 2/2s. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in doing anything at the moment. Shooting their Humility. They still have all these large creatures. They play as a hit Opalescence. Oh, but they can Seal of Cleansing. They can do the thing where they Parallax Wave me, my creatures, and holding priority Seal of Cleansing. Okay, so I don't even want to take this 4. So they're gonna be able to get rid of my creatures, unfortunately. Oh, but I can stifle the Seal of Cleansing. So their Parallax Wave will be with 2 counters and just my 3 creatures under it. I think they're reckoning with their board state now that all their enchantments are turned back on. I play Oath Replenish with Humility and Opalescence, both main, and it does create some weird situations. Weird how it turns off your own activated abilities on your own enchantments. So he wants me to go to attacks and tap down. If I were to cast this, he would just bounce whatever creature. So He wants me to tap down a bunch for the elephant grass. I'm gonna have to tap 6. And then he's gonna exile my creatures and try to get rid of. Oh, he's got 2 Seal of Cleansing and an aura. Yeah, I mean, I might as well attack. Pay 10. What am I missing? 12. I think it's just saying 12. Okay. 4 for each. I actually don't have 4 for each. Oof. Should have played out of land. Okay. So I gotta say no and only attack with 2. Doesn't really matter. I just gotta give them a reason to do their Parallax Wave thing. Wow, they went to 3? Why? Why? And again. Kind of an interesting situation. I don't know why they took that damage. Oh, their own enchantments have Shroud, so he can't Seal of Cleansing his Parallax Wave. He can still use the fading counters to exile my things, but his own enchantments have Shroud. He could also just sack Sterling Grove. He had the mana up. I wonder if opponent's been fairly slow. I wonder if they're new to the deck and just sort of overwhelmed with all the random little abilities that are going on. Naturalized worked was because Opalescence was turning on Sterling Grove, which then became a creature and then was turned off by humility. So all the creatures lost Shroud. Why is the Parallax Tide dying? Why did it just die? I asked the opponent. Parallax Wave just die. That. See, there's no activations. It's not like it had a upkeep cost that it had to be paid. It had 5 counters. That makes me feel like I'm good to swing. Swords still will get me. Swords won't get me. I'll be dealing 2. Yeah, what they could do is draw. That's a blocker. Don't care. They could swords or something. Swords and block. Oh, it entered without counters, and that's why they couldn't. That's right. It entered with humility, so it entered without counters. So then it became when humility was gone, or sorry, when Opalescence was gone, uh it's still a creature, it just has 0 counters. Yeah, it was no longer a creature. It was no longer a creature. So it gained all of its abilities, but it still had 0. Okay. So their Argothian even has power here. I don't love that. I'm not doing the math. I probably should. Yeah, it would still, I have to pay 4 for everything. I'm gonna juice up Mongrel, which will presumably be the one that gets blocked. That's right, I have to pay more. Yep, okay, well, all these plays mean I can only swing with 1 thing. Eesh. Yeah, oops. If I had played the land last turn, I would have been able to swing with 2 things, get them to 1. Alright. Not playing super tight. So my Strength of Lunacy resolved without them swordsing it, so that's nice. That means that it won't be able to be swords or Parallax Wave in the future. So they gotta block. You know what I could have done is Volcanic Sprayed first, and then swung with Wild Mongrel once it was assured that it had large enough toughness to survive and it wasn't gonna get swords. Yep, so I just missed lethal there. Could have Volcanic Sprayed first. Do I want to stifle this? I think I do because it's gonna get them solitary confinement or something. They can still top deck it, but they're kind of torn. Do they want to pay for Elephant Grass here? Sure, they're killing my Mox Diamond. I don't care. It's lethal last turn. Elephant Grass here. I mean, they could. Yeah, they could. They could tap down Sarah Sanctum, no problem. Parallax Wave. Yeah, Parallax Wave doesn't do it because Wild Mongrel. They're not paying. I think they understand that they need to top deck something and be able to cast it, which they could have anyway. The games.